What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Manny here. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another episode of the Andromedawall. Recently we slapped a couple of new holds onto this thing. For example, this yellow one here, this beastie super bad sloper. Here we've got another one, the yellow one again. And then we've got these not so bad, a little bit more joggy holds actually. The orange ones especially, which are super joggy. And some green and red ones to make kind of the whole wall a little bit more versatile for beginners, you know, to create some more easier problems basically. And this is already the first one called the Stars Align, and it's basically a couple of these joggier holds linked together to this one straightforward streak of climbing to the top. You can step everything. The way I'm going with these Andromedawall episodes is probably always like this. I'm gonna show the easier boulders first, and then we're getting successively harder here. So we've got here this Mission to Mars boulder, which is kind of similar to the Stars Align boulder. It's basically a streak of not so bad holds linked together. You can step everything again. Now on the harder problems that are later in the video, I'm also gonna try to make a little bit of a what we can call it, a technical analysis or something like that. I filmed them in 4K, so maybe we're going to be able to crop in a little bit and check them out a little bit closer. Now this is already a little bit more interesting. Undercling Attack, I called this one. There's a sit start and a stand start to this stuff. We see Thorsten here on the sit start already, and as you're gonna see, the crux move is the last move, which is basically from this big undercling here towards this big top hold right there. Bam. Now this is actually not so easy. Thorsten makes it look really easy here. Let's see what we have next. Next we've got the Halbmond, Halbmond, which is a German word for crescent, I think. Now this is actually a pretty cool problem. First move onto this slopey, thing, then a cool jump to this mushroom, to this joggy mushroom, and then a really nice move outwards to another sloper and a big heel hook onto this joggy mushroom, and then a big dino towards the top hold. This was kind of a funny fall off, drop off of Thorsten, and here he manages to hold it. Yeah, nice problem, I have to say. The next thing, what we've got here, oh yeah, that is the cross-linked. I don't know how I came up with this name, to be honest. It's just basically a not so hard boulder. We are in the 6C range here with stepping screw-ons. Now, I've talked about stepping screw-ons before. I think stepping screw-ons is a nice method to train precision and also body strength. Precision especially in the department of your toes, of your feet, obviously, because you have to step really small features. And you know, to not slip off these small features, you gotta have some kind of body strength. So this is always something that's nice to train. So now if we move on to the pincher. The pincher is a nice, not so easy problem, 6C plus or something like that. We start off with this Gaston move here, pretty cool. Then we've got the first pinch, and then we've got a kind of a crossover to the second pinch. Now Thorsten again makes it look really easy here, but actually because these two pinches are situated just right on top of each other, you know, the one pinch is just above the other pinch, you can't really utilize these pinches as side pulls as you always like with pinches, you know. You gotta really pinch them if they are vertically aligned, if you know what I'm saying. Alright, so yeah, pretty solidly done by Thorsten here. Let's look at the next one, lateral gravity. This is another nice problem. It's basically a couple of good holds, but with really far distances. So here's the first far move. And here we have something that's also interesting when it comes to stepping, which is only stepping wood. I showed you a video where I slapped some wooden screw-ons onto this wall, and one of the purposes of these screw-ons was that we are able to transform all the boulders we built to basically stepping only screw-ons that are from wood. Now why is that so fascinating? Because wooden screw-ons are really slippery, they are really small as well. So this kind of gives this whole precision and body strength aspect kind of a new, you know, meaning. And here we have already the crux move of this boulder, which is this crossover to this smaller white edge there, where you gotta jump to from a slopey 3-finger pocket. Now, as you've seen, Thorsten lost his feet pretty much on every move here, and I just wanted to make a little bit of a comparison shot to show you that you gotta have this kind of specific body strength for a 45-degree system wall. And if you have it, all these foot losses, or usually these foot losses, are not necessary. That's kind of fascinating. Also, when you get off a 45er for a longer time, you kind of lose this specific body strength really fast, and you're gonna slip off again. So yeah, it's kind of fascinating. This kind of overhanging style climbing builds a very specific kind of body strength that allows you to step all these footholds. Now, this is the first really hard problem that I invented myself. I called it the Sungazer. The reason why I call it like that is because it contains 2 of these really yellow, really bad slopers. And the first, or actually the second move of the problem, is a really crazy dyno to this blue jug here from the first sloper, which is actually the worst one. And then I've got a really epic crossover to this kind of slopey thing again. Next slopey yellow one, and next last dyno. So let's look at it again. It's a really dynamic problem. You gotta basically only focus on the hand that is landing the move, in this case the left one, and in the second dyno the right one. Gotta say that the first dyno is a lot harder than the second one, obviously. Yeah, so here we've got the bad hold in the left hand and the jump with the right hand. As you can see, a lot of swinging out there, a lot of dynamics, and yeah, a lot of fun actually for people who like that kind of stuff. I'm not usually the kind of guy who likes that, but this one was actually pretty cool. And this on steroids is just an amazing problem. This is the favorite. This is my favorite of this episode, I gotta say. 7C+ in the 7C+ range. Just linking a couple of really bad holes together. And you know, I just wanted to not take edges or crimps that you can, you know, kind of hold somewhat inactively. Every little hold of this problem has to be held with full activity in the fingers. It's really fascinating because they are all these kind of pinchy character, you know, they all have this kind of pinchy character, and you gotta use your thumb here. You really gotta make use of your thumb on every single move. So let's go through it here a little bit. First move to the right up onto this slopey thing here, then you gotta turn your left hand and make a reach even further. And then we've got this really nice round hold here, really active to hold here. Another one of these steroids. The next really active hold with the left hand. This is actually now approaching the crux move. We're gonna step up here, boom. This is actually the hardest move, although it doesn't look like that, and this is not as hard anymore. But since you get this pinch always the wrong way, this was actually pretty much a hold where I fell, I think, 2 times even after I managed to stick the crux move from the bottom for the first time. So yeah, really hard to link it all together. This is actually, I think, my longest project so far on this wall. Took me like, I don't know, 3-4 sessions or something. But yeah, it was a lot of fun, and it's gonna be interesting to see how this develops in difficulty once the holds get a little bit more used, you know, once we got a little bit more chalk on there, because now it's already rough and you've got a lot of friction. But yeah, when the chalk layer increases, this usually goes away with time. So anyway, these are the new boulders of the 45er of the Andromedawall. I hope you enjoyed the little video. Hope I could drop some training motivation again, and I hope you all had a great Christmas, by the way. I certainly had. So let's keep the ball rolling. I think I'll smash out a couple more videos, and then I gotta do a little bit of a longer break at some point. I gotta be honest with you guys. But anyway, yeah, hoping you have a great time as well, and I'll see you soon in the next one. Bye.